So it's the morning after the party, and let's just say that Quentyl's feeling a bit fragile this morning. It's actually, she went to bed with Janasa. Two of them had a bit of fun together, and it's now afternoon. So she bought a jug of milk to cure the effect of the alcohol she drank last night. Some wine, I think. Right. Also buy some water, I think. For the
Of course. All right then.
Yes?
I don't know how our companions are feeling this morning, but Lydia was dancing on tables and things like that, so... Must have been some party. Certainly Quentyl can't remember any of this happening. Dear oh dear.
Ah, good to see you.
Yeah. Don't shout so loud, Zorex. We have this milk. So I feel a bit better now. Now we've got to see someone. It's a bright sunny day, not something Quentyl likes to see, especially after at night, but just feeling a bit better now after that jug of milk. Time is it? It's like almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Cannot preserve us.
Oh dear, oh dear. Was the wine spiked or something? Goodness me.
Oh my word, this is terrible.
Okay.
Sir, we can't just keep trading blows with the rebels like this. It's only strengthening their resolve.
Your concerns are duly noted, Legate, but unfounded. I assure you, this war will be over in another 6 months.
Sir, this is costing lives of both Imperial loyalists and Skyrim citizens alike. And it's winning the rebels' support where they had none before.
Don't you think I know that? But these commands come straight from Cyrodiil. We must maintain order and put the rebellious Jarls in their place before we have a full-scale war on our hands.
You don't think this is a war already? Sir,
Thank you, Legate. In the future, I'll let you know when your opinion is needed.
Sir?
Well. Hello, General.
By defeating Ulfric at Whiterun, we have solidified the allegiance of the Jarl. Perhaps the Stormcloaks will soon lose heart for this little rebellion of theirs once and for all. I'm promoting you to Quester. Take this blade, a symbol of your new station and responsibility. I'll keep an eye on your progress. The Empire rewards excellence, and so do I.
So what are my new orders, sir?
You'd be wasted as a regular soldier. I have special plans for you. You'll be of greater use to me with greater flexibility. Make your way to our hidden military camp in the Pale. Rika will have important tasks for you, and will need you when we reclaim the capital.
So what exactly will we be doing in the field?
You'll be doing whatever Rika tells you to do. And I expect you to find creative ways to disrupt the Stormcloaks along the way.
Yes, sir.
For the Emperor.
Was that a Daedric sword he gave me, was it? Yeah. So that's... Unfortunately, I've made my blacksmithing legendary, so I don't have the skills to smith up magical weapons at the moment, so it will have to wait for now. I can sell that. That could be useful, that sword, though. I'll favour that. Yeah, favourite it. So just 25 damage, yeah. I've got a sword for fire, sword for frost, one for...
Stay sharp.
yeah. I will try to. Now. Let's see how the bards are faring this morning, or this afternoon.
Someday soon you will all see battle, and what you do here today may well save your lives. Concentrate. The battlefield is full of distractions. Ignore them. Focus on your target.
It's not actually where that sword is, it's our emblem of office. There we go. As well as the Imperial cloak she wears. Sell some stuff here, I think.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with?
What have we got for sale?
Take a look.
Got some weight, that. Don't need that. What else? Right.
Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests.
Servants. Right, there must have been some sort of argument here. That's me. Oh. The guards tried to put it down. Was the wine spiced? No, I know what spiced wine she was drinking, but wasn't it actually infected with something? Someone's trying to undermine Solitude's government by causing people to fight each other. No, it's raw, it's probably still good to eat. Take your wine, just going to waste it.
What happened?
Also standing around, that was some party last night.
Glad you're here. Right. See you round. Jarls come and Jarls go. But a good cook stays for a lifetime. And I'm a very, very good cook. All right. Back to slicing, dicing, and baking.
Yeah.
Ah, yet another new face. I'm from Hammerfell, you see. I can hardly keep track of all the people I've been meeting. Good to talk to a
I've
fellow
tasted
traveler.
your food, Odar. It's better than most songs I've heard.
Damn fool. I should wring her neck.
Who's next that then?
Lorena. That fool student of mine stole my flute and sold it to some necromancer. I just got a ransom note for it. That flute has been handed down for 17 generations. Well, don't just stand there. Go get my flute.
Why would a necromancer want your flute anyway?
Apparently, Lorena told him some story about the flute being able to make the dead dance. It's just a flute. A really old and valuable flute, but just a flute. Always good to see a fellow bard.
I think she's feeling the effects of the party last night as well, the way she bent over there. Like I'm trying to be sick or something. Well,
Ildi, what year did the Aldmeri Dominion invade the Empire? Good Ildi, soak in the lore. Yorn, what happened during the Red Year?
It makes me sad whenever I think about it.
why is that?
Oh, sorry. My mind wanders sometimes. I was just thinking about Finn's loot. Over a year ago, thieves broke into the college and made off with a lot of valuable things, mostly gold and silver. But they also stole Finn's loot. We just learned where the bandits fled to, and I very much want that loot back.
What's important about Finn's loot?
Finn was the bard who invented the 8-course loot that is commonplace today. Until he found a way to string the extra courses, bards only had 6-course loots. The loot they stole is Finn's original 8-course loot. I doubt they even realize its true value.
Yeah, probably not. Bandits are like that. Just look for money.
Always good to see a fellow bard.
Morrowind suffered a massive explosion.
Good to see you again, friend.
So, what did they find?
Riorn's drum. Nobody knows where he died, and therefore where his drum might be. Haldir was the missing link. Riorn entered Haldir's cairn in secret and presumably died there.
Haldir's cairn?
Now all I need to do is find someone to get it. Wait, you. You could do it. I need you to get me that drum.
Yeah, I heard you were talking about it last night. I can vaguely remember the details. Who's Rorn and why do you want his drum?
You're joking, right? Riorn? Only the most famous battle drummer of the Second Age? Well, famous among bards at least. That drum has been in half a dozen famous battles. It's a priceless artifact. Riorn was always looking for new stories to tell. It seems he was writing a lay about Haldir when he vanished. That was the missing clue.
Okay.
Vardenfell's Red Mountain erupts. Try to be precise, Yorn. Remember, being a bard isn't just about the music.
Yeah.
I think someone has a crush on Ildi.
Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service. Always good to see a fellow bard.
Yes, well. It's not really much of a chance to explore this place yet, so. Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good party last night, wasn't it? What I can remember.
Always good to see a fellow bard.
A good story is 9 parts truth and 1 part fiction.
Seems like most of these are 9 parts fiction.
Read carefully. You will see there are ways to stay true to the essence, Ildi, even while making parts up.
It's not really got a loop, I shouldn't really play it very much. Comes in handy when she was in shot for gold in the past. Bit rusty, but she's got plenty of gold, so...
Lady Atia says my voice is second only to hers, but she's selling me short. Always good to see a fellow bard.
Yeah, well, whatever. Ooh. Hello.
My father loves caves. He says their echoes play music that warms the soul. They're actually freezing, but I get what he means.
Yeah.
The people in Solitude need to learn the value of charity.
Yeah, you've been working on a poem for quite a while, haven't you?
Well, typically, something of this stature requires decades to perfect. Even for someone of my talents, it has taken months to get this far. Yet I have made significant progress nonetheless. Perhaps you would like me to bless you with a verse?
I'm going to regret saying this, but fine, recite your poem.
Oh, you will regret hearing it, for after one hears perfection, all other poems, nay, all other sounds, will cease to have music. They will wilt and wither under the sweet brandy of my words. The cave is the heart where the dragon tongue sings, and the torchbug pens poetry upon a naked leaf. Here lie 7 generations of smells, where beds never cool, and windows never shut their eyes. Where on a middas of sun's dusk the sky betrays its wintry master, where the sun dances with the nightshade, and spells cast calm on the day.
Spells cast calm? Do you mean a mage? Spells can't cast themselves.
I know that. The original line was, "Time cast a spell on the day." But then I imagined that Nord saying, "What if the spell was a fireball?" No, the current line as constructed is perfect. It's a metaphor of some sort. You just lack the intelligence to understand it.
Speaking of the undead, your eyes.
A hereditary affliction. I have my father's eyes. It is a mark of noble ancestry.
I'm thinking that's orc teeth you've got as well, is it? So how long have you studied poetry?
Many years, more than I care to count. My clan made its fortunes long ago, and now we spend our time leisurely, donating to the arts. Most of the time we make sizable donations through gold, but I believe that my poetry will serve as an equally charitable measure.
What's the poem about?
Yes, undoubtedly you wish to know my authorial intent. While there are countless deeper meanings, the basis of the poem is about how caves are a home for the undead whose winter never comes.
That poem was personal. I bet you live in a cave, you homeless beggar.
It was personal, but you must be blind if you attribute it to me. I honor my father, a great man of noble birth, forced to live like an ice wolf. It is with great pride that I inherited his countenance, and I will wear it smiling when I restore his honor and mine by vanquishing the Nord.
The Nord? What's the cause of this rift between you and this Nord?
How should I know? He's the one who started this quarrel, but I aim to finish it, and I just about have just 3 more lines.
Why not just kill him?
Oh, I've tried many times, and each instance he's used treachery and deceit to fashion a narrow escape. As a gentleman, I have fought him according to the rules of fair play, and never once thought to sink to his level.
How will a portage be any different?
Simple. Words travel with you. They stick to the inside of your mind. My verse will worm its way into his mind like a poison, gnawing away at the tips until it burrows a hole to the heart of madness. It is not death I speak of, but the death of his dream. I will make him weep until the widows pity his soul, and then I will kill him.
Can you tell me about your jewels?
Of course. In fact, I was waiting for you to ask. Which deal shall I relate to you? The 2 I recall most vividly was the bare-knuckle brawl and the deal of spiced wine.
Tell me about the brawl.
Sure. My servant and I were attending a party at the Falmore Embassy, when someone mentioned a delightful bard that reminded her of Razalon. Of course, I recognized the fungal odor of dead animal musk immediately. As there are no weapons in the embassy, I was forced to challenge the fat golem to a bare-knuckle brawl.
Who won?
I would have won easily, but the scoundrel managed to sneak a shiv past the guard. His every jab was a slash. Still, I would have trounced the cur had he not cut my forehead, which blinded my vision. It ended in another draw.
What about the wine duel? That's more my time.
Ah, that day the Nord was here in solitude. The fat boar asked me, "What is it this time? Dice? Daggers?" But I told him my weapon of choice was wine. It was a drinking duel. We spread 21 bottles on a table and took 10 each at random. The remaining bottle was a cure disease potion.
What was that potion for?
It would be given to the winner. Of course, it could only be imbibed when one of us had died from intoxication.
Did you take any breaks during this?
Yes. After 5 bottles, if we were both standing, we would take a break. We both were allowed to eat, provided the food came from the inn. The brute went for a haunch. I made no such request. I walked behind the counter and plucked my choice from the rack.
What did you choose?
Garlic. Earlier, my servant had asked the local alchemist what foods would help me resist poison. That was one of them. With that, victory was assured. The Nord was halfway through bottle number 7, but it's then that his monkey lips curled into a smile.
Why a smile?
Because he was up to no good. I could already see the flies milling about in his head when he smashed the bottle on the table. Then, like a frenzied troll, the fiend swung the broken glass at my neck. I was about to demand his head for breaking the rules when I realized my mistake. I said our weapons would be wine bottles, but I failed to specify in what way.
Right.
With idiots, you have to explain things without implications.
Okay. So about the quarrel?
As you wish.
Something else?
Certainly. Which deal would you like to hear about?
Never mind.
As you wish.
Sorry, I'm feeling the effects of last night. Is this not his name Scorn by any chance?
I don't know his name and I don't care to. I imagine to utter it would be some sort of Daedric malediction opening a portal to oblivion. You'll know him by his looks. He's as ugly as a shalk, as graceful as a golem, and as fat as a sea drake. And much like those drakes of Blackmarsh, his entire existence is an utter abomination.
So how will you find him if you don't know his name?
Easy. You can find him by his smell. When it comes time to deliver my poem, I'll follow that specific trail, to my nose's regret. The smell he emits is unlike any other. It's as if all the world's mildew collected in a single boot and was left to ferment in a dragon's anus. I dare say he must be a werewolf of some kind, the way he drags his hairy knuckles on the dirt.
That's funny because I thought you were a vampire.
A lucky guess, no doubt. Evidently, the brute didn't make the same assessment of you. Clearly, he's throwing spit to the wind and hoping it hits something other than his face.
Really, you feed The other students have reported no incidents.
Ah, you know as well as I that our kind cannot afford to create suspicion. It's a great shame to be forced to feed on beggars and travelers. The shame should be theirs. Our kind should be allowed to dine on masters, generals, thanes, and jarls. We should be carried around in gilded palanquins while the common folk shout our names and reveal their necks, begging that we stop for a bite.
Well, some vampires are respected. Sybil's centaur is court wizard.
She doesn't count. Not a single person is aware of who that traitorous bitch really is. She even sends the guard to hunt our kind. I fear my father may be next.
Interesting. Okay.
What are you going to do after you graduate? I'm thinking of joining the Legion.
Sure.
I hear
Who's a
you're looking
vampire,
for
eh?
scouts. Just think. Me, a war bard.
It's been my honor to perform at the Blue Palace on many occasions. His late lordship was quite the admirer.
Meals are served to bards at designated times. Find an inn if you want to make requests. All right.
Yeah, well.
You and me, we're the only people around who aren't complete fools.
Has the war affected your college much?
Not much. But as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times. But the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a good. Let's see, that was a. Enjoyed the party last night. Yeah, well, I can only remember bits of it. Okay. Right.
Yes?
Well, she's in a hurry a bit. Nobody else has searched these bodies.
Steward, I will need the following reagents for my studies. Please see to them.
Miss Stentor, these are quite expensive. I trust you know how limited the Hold's funds are at this time.
Yes, and I'm also aware of how necessary my divinations and wards have been in the city's defense. My experiments are all I ask for in return.
Very well. But I suspect her grace will not be pleased.
And? I've seen Jarls come and go. This one only became Jarl because her husband died. She'll be replaced in a matter of months.
Miss Stentor, watch your tongue in the Jarl's court.
On threat of what exactly? This city wouldn't run without me. Now if you'll excuse me, my work awaits.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
Yeah, I took care of him, Fatima.
You've done a great thing today. It doesn't matter who you support in the war, but Fatima would have been a blight on the land for both sides. Without you, this would have been a disaster. I should have paid more heed to Varnius's warnings. I won't make that mistake again. Take this payment. The Jarl will thank you, but she very much wants to keep Fatima's return quiet. Make no mistake, we consider you a protector of solitude.
Highwayman or stray dog.
Trouble on the roads and cities means less commerce. Less commerce means less money and more starving people. And that means more crime.
Huh. That's only a problem for people who can't afford to hire their own security.
That may well be our only answer. I will empower my steward to seek out capable individuals to secure Hafengar. Thank you, my Thanes.
Well.
If you've come to file another complaint, I won't deign to hear it. If my presence is that much of an issue, tell it to the steward. Everyone whines and moans about how loosely I flap my tongue. As if Thane Erikur's eccentric love life were not a matter of public knowledge. And for the last time, I am not a Thalmor agent here to destabilize the court. You're thinking of my terribly unfashionable twin sister, Mithriel. My name, on the other hand, is Nithriel, and I am both an attendant to the court and someone worthy of your confidence.
Fighting battles against the Stormcloaks.
I don't see your twin sister anywhere.
Are you daft? I don't have a sister. It was a joke. The cleverness of which was apparently lost on you. Oh, it seems the people of Skyrim appreciate puns about as little as they appreciate a good man.
What do you mean by that?
Just the other day, I was telling Sybil about how what that Virinet girl put her poor fiancé through is despicable. And the way Vivienne Onis treats poor Sorex, constantly flirting with other men at the skeever. Tusk. That is not behavior becoming of a lady. Although in her defense, it's not as if there are other inns in which to meet eligible bachelors. Nor should Sorex continue to fawn over a woman that denied him decades ago. There is a threshold after all, when a childhood infatuation stops being cute, starts being creepy. Sorex doesn't seem to be aware of this.
Yes, of course, but Ulfric's message is a powerful one. More of our people flock to his cause every day.
Have faith, Brian. When this war is over...
Perhaps the men's people are not men, but sheep in men's clothing.
Oh, I don't know. Brave males are often dead males, or so confident they don't heed anyone's advice but their own. But I suppose we all have our own preferences. I'm more curious about yours. Does the lady fancy a strong, coarse male?
Actually, I prefer like females myself.
My apologies. I didn't mean to presume. Oh, you'll find that there are many in Solitude who share your particular inclinations.
I don't see any reason why we'd need them.
Offhand, I know Yordis and Ta'ari might be interested, but there's a few others I suspect. Isley, for instance. She seems like the type. Some people say Yvette Sand too, but I'm not inclined to agree. I have a sense for these things that others don't.
Capable of dealing with the odd highwayman or stray dog.
Trouble on the roads and cities means less commerce.
Well, that are your responsibilities here.
As a court attendant, I mostly deal with acquiring clothes, silverware, and other accessories from merchants both local and overseas. The Blue Palace cannot have its residents dressed like common rubes. And by rubes, I mean the lesser nobles that inhabit the other holds. Unfortunately, much of the clothing I had recently shipped in by the East Empire Company was deemed too impractical, given Skyrim's frigid weather.
I trust you know how limited the hold's funds are at this time.
What a shame.
You should have seen the quality of lace I had brought in from the Somerset Isle. Silks and linens embroidered with silver and gold. Nothing like these peasant bodices the Nords wear. They were garments truly fit for the divine race. It's rather difficult to feel like oneself, let alone a divine wearing these thick coats and furs. I suppose I will have to make my face all the more stunning to compensate.
You must have been quite busy during the High King's death.
Indeed. They asked me what I saw, and I told them what I heard. Ulfric Stormcloak shouting King Torrik to pieces! And I do mean that literally. From what I understand, there were chunks of the High King all over the walls of the throne. General Tullius, meanwhile, was screaming at Aldis for letting Ulfric escape. Naturally, Aldis made Rogvir a scapegoat for his own ineptitude. Which is laughable. Rogvir couldn't even find his own bottom, let alone an escape route past the castle guard.
Who you also serve, technically.
He uses all of Hafingar's...
Of course it's laughable. The truth is probably something far more ridiculous.
According to my sources, the only person to leave the castle was an Argonian male who took the carriage by the stables later that night. Alone, this would mean little. But consider this. When Ulfric shouted Torrik to death, some claim his skin burst open to reveal a pattern of scales. Not the scales of an Argonian, but that of a dragon.
Steward, when is my appointment to meet with General Tullius? There are some issues we must speak about.
Anyone could see past this pathetic excuse for a guard.
Perhaps the ratway blossom like Yvette San could crawl through the sewers and swim to Hjalmarch. But I don't see Ulfric as the dirty type.
I'm afraid he can't. He's
So how did Elisabeth react to the death of her husband?
Well, it was rather tragic what Ulfric did to Torrik, but not nearly as tragic as the prehistoric cave garments with which he dresses his generals. The uniforms of his lower-ranked soldiers are bad enough, given their redundancy. But I mean really, a bear's head? I know third-era fashion is all the rage these days, but I think you have to go back a couple of millennia to find a time when animal heads were stylish. If Elisif mourned anything, it was the death of good taste under Stormcloak rule.
So you think Elisabeth cared more about clothes than Torrik?
But I suspect her husband was important too. Well, I can't say all this melancholy has been good for her complexion, but she's still quite fetching. You may not be aware of this, but it requires a great deal of work to live up to the moniker Elisif the Fair. The last thing a lady wants is to have that name said in jest.
By all accounts, waging war takes his every moment.
Would you describe yourself as a gossip?
I'm not a gossiper, just gregarious. I don't embellish. It's just the facts don't convey the spirit of what really happens. I'm not high maintenance, just high-minded. When I petition for funding for a party or festival, or new robes for the Thanes, I do so with purpose. Nobles cannot simply skulk around like common thieves. We must present ourselves in a fashion befitting our rank.
Well, I'm not clear why people think you gossip, but everything you say is a fact.
Please see to
Oh, you jest.
Miss Stentor.
But what I do
these
isn't
are quite
overstating
expensive.
the facts.
I
It's
trust you know how
investigating
limited the
them.
hold's
If,
funds are
every
at
night,
this time.
strangers walk in and out of a
and I'm
large
also
house
aware
with
of
no
how necessary my
windows,
divination
I
rules have
don't
been
need
in
to
suit of
enter the
defense.
premises to
My
tell you it's a
experiment will I ask for in
brothel.
return.
Nor do I
Very
need
well.
more than one glance
I
at you
suspect
to
her
see you're an
grace will not be
adventurer
pleased.
with a hunger for battle. and
I've seen
the
girls come and
flesh.
go. This one only became yours.
Tell me,
because her husband
what
died.
sort of
She'll be
person does the
replaced in a
stranger
matter of
fancy?
months.
Miss Stentor, watch your tongue in the Jarl's court.
On threat of what exactly? This city wouldn't run without me.
Yes, I'm afraid I mate who's strong and valorous
My
as
work
well.
awaits.
Let me see. Who do I know that's available? Are you opposed to marriage outside your race? On the other hand, I suppose they might be.
Some says I'll gossip about anyone.
That still implies that gossip itself is a negative, akin to a paper cut or a particularly vexing housefly. However, I believe it ties the community together. The more we know about each other, the more intimate our relationship. Gossip is inclusive. It allows outsiders such as yourself to easily join the conversation. Spend an hour with me, and you'll know everything about everyone, and truly feel like one of the locals.
Me in the slightest? This hardly seems fair.
Be with you for a few minutes and I'll already need a bath.
Fine. Then I will speak with someone who appreciates what I have to say instead of belittling it.
Yeah. Why not?
There's something personal I was hoping you would do for me.
What can I do for you?
Falk told me what you did for us at Wolfskull Cave. He says you're someone we can trust. As you may know, Talos worship is outlawed in the Empire. When we buried my husband, I made offerings to all the gods, except Talos. I would like you to take an item of his, a war horn handed down from his father, and place it at a shrine of Talos.
Do you worship Talos?
No, but my husband, Torg, would want a proper burial, and this is the way Nords are buried in Skyrim.
I'm sorry, I can't help with that right now.
That's all right. Return to me if you change your mind, though.
Oof. That's an interesting proposition, that, because I could get quite in favour with Jarl, but at the same time, my father could be watching. So,
Need something?
I think she'll pass on that for the moment.
Steward, I will need the following reagents for my studies. Please see to them.
Miss Stentor, these are quite expensive. I trust you know how limited the Hold's funds are at this time.
Yes, and I'm also aware of how
None of them
necessary my
simple get anything
divinations
to
and
say
rules
about
have been in the
this
city's
end, so.
defense. My experiments are all I ask for in return.
Very well, but I suspect her grace will not be pleased.
If I needed something from you,
Watch your
you would
tongue in
know
the
it.
Jarl's court.
Yeah.
On threat of what exactly?
She can't train
This
us
city
anymore
wouldn't
anyway.
run without me. Now if you'll excuse
It's good
me,
to see you
my
again.
word.
Anytime, friend.
Right. Yeah, Thalmor is definitely watching what's going on in here, so it's another reason that
Yes.
Quentyl's not taking that mission for the Jarl. Okay. I think we've done things we need to do here, so let's go.